And it's a beautiful day as we now begin our coverage of the 1987 Great Circus Parade. I'm John McCullough with Chappie Fox, and the first thing we're going to see is what's called the pre-parade. Did they have these in the original days, Chappie?
No, they didn't, and the only reason we have it here is because Mr. Barkin wanted to have a longer parade for the people sitting on the streets. Some of them have been waiting there for hours on end.
Well, this is the first part of it. It's the Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps that led off last year's circus parade. It's part of the 3rd United States Infantry stationed at Fort Myer, Virginia. It's the only one of its kind in the country's armed forces. Interesting group of... Did the military ever participate in circus parades?
No, they did not, but the circuses used to dress their own bands as military wardrobe. Military
of the period, you mean, or would
yes.
They go back to this revolutionary period?
No, they did it as the military of the period.
These are 11-hole wood fifes, handmade rope tension drums, and solid brass bugles, all replicas of the instruments used during the late 1870s. This is a little bit more modern band. This is from New Orleans, the 4th Marine Aircraft Wing Band. 39 members strong. There is one Wisconsinite here, Lance Corporal Terry Albinger of West Bend, a trumpeter with a Marine Band, graduate of West Bend High School. And tomorrow, July 13th, is his birthday. The 4th Marine Aircraft Wing Band.
Well, music was always an important part of any circus parade.
Familiar tune from the Marine Band. And there's the Navy, the Naval Recruit Training Command 50 State Flag Unit from the Great Lakes Naval Training Station at Great Lakes. There are the flags from all of the 50th states, presented to the Navy by every state governor. This naval unit changes every 3 weeks, Chappie, because the recruits go on to their tour of sea duty or further schooling, and they bring in new recruits. So these guys have to learn this pretty fast.
But they do a beautiful job. Adds so much to our circus parade here.
That's the Navy band following the Navy flag unit, Chief Warrant Officer Doyle Church. One officer, 43 of the Navy's top enlisted musicians. They're all in Little Creek, Virginia. The Grand Marshal of the 1987 Great Circus Parade.
Everybody's happy about this day. The sun is shining.
The carriages are a little out of order here because the mayor's car, the car with the mayor and the chairman of the Journal Company, is somehow something happened to it. And as a result, it's been slowed down just a little bit. This isn't it. The one you're seeing now is one of the antique automobiles that are in here. So we're a little bit out of order, but people watching don't know and really don't care. The mayor's car is going again. It's that Bugatti that they paid $8.1 million for, and it didn't make it to the first part of the parade. Antique autos now. Bernie Peck of Peck Meatpacking Corporation of Milwaukee. Chappie, you know Bernie Peck.
Yes.
Has assembled this collection of what he calls horseless carriages to lead the way.
These cars can't be anything modern or classics. They've got to be the ancient cars.
You know, I'm surprised in the original circus parades that they didn't get the mayor to come out in his car and ride in the parade or something, give it a little bit of a touch, but the circuses didn't do that.
No, they didn't. They didn't have time for all that organization. They just used the units that they had on the circus itself and paraded.
Well, there's the mayor. That's the Bugatti that we've been talking about before. And there's the mayor. There it is. That is a huge car, and he's going by at top speed here, trying to catch up, I guess. It's the most expensive automobile in the world, a 31 Bugatti Royale Berline de Voyage, one of only 6 in the world. That thing was 22 feet long, and it went by here at about 40 miles an hour when they tried to catch up. So we're back to the ordinary, more mundane antique cars, I guess.
Well, it's nice to have Mayor Meyer in the parade.
That's right, and he went by so fast. I know that we said on the screen that Dr. Lamb, his wife Karen Lamb, was there. I did not see her because they went by pretty fast, but they've caught up and they're in their spot now at the proper place up near the front of the parade. Appreciative crowd. The weather has turned really nice. It's nice and sunny right now. And as a result, the people are in a very festive mood, and they're waving, and people in the cars are waving back. After owning one of these old cars, I had a 1927 Model T truck for our farm use, and the worst thing that happens to you is if you stop, because then the thing boils over pretty fast.
That was the first car I ever owned. It was a 1927 Model T touring car.
Oh, yeah, that's the last year they made the Model T. Willie Davis, one of the greats of the Green Bay Packers years, going by in one of the cars now. And he also, of course, is an entrepreneur and has many business interests in the Milwaukee area. Some of these cars are really terrific. I don't know where that truck came in there, but somewhere along the line he's in there. But that's why the cars are weaving back and forth. For one thing, it gives the people on both sides of the street a chance to see it. And secondly, it keeps them moving. And once they stop, many of these don't have any water pumps, so once they stop and just idle, they get pretty hot pretty fast. Many of these have recognizable city people in them. Chief Zarnik and others are riding along here, and so they get various reactions from the crowd. The truck, incidentally, is from the Peck Meatpacking Company, and it's got gasoline and oxygen and a half a dozen other things in there.
I think it's pretty neat the way they weave back and forth across the streets. It does give everybody a chance to see them instead of having them just whiz by.
Yeah. A beautiful picture looking east toward the lake with the De Souvero sculpture at the end of Wisconsin Avenue, and all of the antique cars weaving back and forth to let everybody have a good chance to see them. Many of these people in here are radio station personalities and others who have helped the circus parade. One of the young ladies in a flapper-type costume came out, just stood up and did a little shimmy, and that's why the crowd reacted so vociferously there. Looks as if the people are having a good time driving them too, Chappie.
But I think I love the way the crowds react to things. Clap, have just a great fun enjoying the parade.
You know, that's one thing about these festive occasions like this. People are really, truly family, and there isn't any pushing or shoving or elbowing. Everybody just seems to be having a good time.
That's what the police department told me. They thoroughly enjoy the circus parade because it's such a beautiful event. Nobody's pushing and shoving. Everybody's smiling.
Way in the background, you can see the trolley buses coming along, another feature of the circus parade for several years now. This part of the parade I used to see because our wagon, the introduction wagon, would be sitting right down on the corner, and then these people would be fed in from another street. And so we always had a chance to see this part of the parade.
This must be the old police patrol coming.
They're part of the opening, yeah. Downtown Alderman Paul Henningsen just going past the picture. There's Paul. I think a politician takes a certain calculated risk riding in a parade because in some cases you're gonna get some cheers, but in other cases you get some jeers, and I guess they learn to just kind of take that in stride as they go along. That's Jim Moody, the congressman who represents the area down here in the downtown Milwaukee area, Democrat who is in his second term. Senator Caston will be in the parade somewhere too. He was supposed to be in one of the carriages, and they're a little bit out of order, but they might be coming along yet. Jerry Klutchka, incidentally, one of the representatives from Milwaukee, also going by. One of the old-time cars got a little out of whack, and it's creaking up the outside. That's Jim Sensenbrenner, another congressman, 9th District congressman. Okay, the trolley cars coming along the way the old-time folks got to a circus parade. They took one of these old trolley cars, and people inside dressed up as in period costumes, and clowns and so forth, all part of the great circus parade. We'll be back in just a moment with more coverage of the 1987 Circus Parade.
Wage war against bothersome pests with an arsenal of products from True Value hardware stores. Plan your attack with Decon Ant and Roach Killer or Indoor Fogger, only $1.99 each. The Ortho High Power Insect Fogger for $2.99 penetrates an entire room. A gallon of home insect pest control spray by Green Thumb is just $7.88. And Cutter Insect Repellent provides outdoor protection. Choose the spray for $3.29 or the cream for $2.69 at participating True Value hardware stores.
Grandpa, do Eskimo pie ice cream bars really come from Eskimos?
What do you think, Jimmy?
I think they come from the abominable snowman who guards the secret cool and creamy ice cream. They come from Eskimos who dip their ice cream bars into a river of real chocolate and then hang them out to freeze. I know. They come from Mom.
And I've even got one for Grandpa. Old-fashioned Eskimo pie.
Rich and creamy Eskimo pies for kids of all ages.
What I Did This Summer by Rockin' Rick Brubaker. Any questions?
Got a case of the hots? Don't lose your cool. Fields knows you're a fan. So dodge the degrees and have some fun, too, at Marshall Field's July Savings. It's cool inside, and you'll save cold cash on all new merchandise for fall. Find cool fashions for men and women and save on fantastic buys for the home with the right amount of attention. Looking cool and being cool are a breeze with Marshall Field's July Savings.
The trolley cars have gone by. 3 motorized trolley cars. Everybody coming to the circus parade. And here are the wheelers. The high-wheel bikes of the 1890s from the Wheelmen. The leader is Jim Finan of Racine. That's an international organization, the Wheelmen.
And
preserving the history of the early days of bicycle. Do you think you could ride one of those?
No, I never did, but I'll tell you, there used to be circus acts with those kind of bicycles.
Well, Jim Feeney of Racine, Wisconsin is the man who put all of this together. He's a manufacturing manager for Johnson Wax. And one of the riders, and his wife is on one of them, and his daughter is on one. Jim Feeney of Racine. They would perform in the big top, the wheelers,
Sure,
like this?
Absolutely. They put in a wooden platform and do all kinds of gyrations, fancy tricks on those big high wheel bicycles.
And they traveled with the circus?
Yeah, they were a regular act. Performed twice a day.
Mounted Police Patrol from the State Fair Park Police Mounted Unit. If you've been out at the Fair Park, you see these fellas. Many of them, most of them, not all of them, but many or most are volunteers who come out there. They do get paid for it, but they're generally on leave or vacation from their regular departments. They handle the traffic and the parking at the fair and the crowd control and so forth. Occasionally, they even have to I've seen them round up a couple of cows that got loose. Let's go out on the street now and see what's going with Denise. Denise, what's happening?
Well, John, we talk about traditions here in the circus parade, and one of those is folks who camp out overnight so they can get the best spots here. We're going to talk to one of them now, Ralph Weber. Ralph, how early were you out here this morning?
I got out at midnight with my brother-in-law, and we've been here ever since.
Now, is it worth it to come out that early in the morning to get this kind of a scene?
It sure is. This is better than the Macy's parade in New York, better than St. Patrick's Day parade in Chicago. It's the greatest parade in the country.
Great, and John, we should mention that Ralph isn't a novice at this. This is the 3rd year that he's been out here early. John?
Chappie, I think you'd agree with that. This is the greatest parade in the world. Better than Macy's, better than anything else, huh?
Greatest parade on earth.
I agree. This is the 5th Wisconsin Infantry Volunteer Fife and Drum Corps. They fought in 29 major battles in the Civil War, more than any other of the Wisconsin units. And this is their last appearance in the circus parade. These uniforms are exact recreations of what was worn in the 1860s, and the music is the same. The arrangements used during the Civil War.
And I think some of the instruments are from that period.
And, you know, when you get up close, they really are. Now, they were at the fireworks a couple of years ago, and we had a chance to talk to them and to get close to them. Those are indeed, if they are not recreations, some of them are actual instruments. The brass instruments are the same. Eric Kruchik is the lead fifer, and his father, Ray, is with him, the oldest member of the group. He's 64. The 5th Wisconsin Volunteer Fife and Drum Corps. Now the single horse carriages, many of them you've seen around, they come from the Cream City carriages, Mike Crowley. The Grand Marshal, Carol Smakel and her son Sean are riding in there as Grand Marshals this year. They were selected as a result of a drawing back in June. They are from Wauwatosa. That idea of everybody sending in $1 and then they drew for the people who were riding the parade came from Roy Ryman of Farm and Ranch Living magazine. Senator Kasten and his wife Eva had a chance to talk with him yesterday. She says she feels just fine. She's with child, of course. There's the Sheriff's Mounted Patrol, and that's Sheriff Artisan leading the mounted patrol of the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Department. He looks pretty good on the front of there, Chappie.
Yes,
Sheriff Artisan.
I like them. Neat outfit.
Yeah, they're all volunteers, and that's called the Support Services Bureau. We'll return with more coverage of the 1987 Great Circus Parade in just a moment.
Coming up, the stuff of legends, the living unicorn,